Hello, H3 fans. My name is Windian. In this one, I'm gonna show you a unique Hausa strat, which definitely work until you get to ELO 1400, because that's what's worked for me. I have seen this somebody do, not the actual player, but an opponent of a streamer do this on Twitch, and I did not really understand until I saw him myself. I faced the same person myself on the ladders, and then I realized its true potential. So I'm gonna share that secret with you in this one. As you can see, Hausa is unlike other civilizations. Say for example, my opponent here is Brit, and as you can see, Brit already is at ninth villager at this moment. Already two villagers queued, and they have enough resources to build a trade post, a couple of manor houses, and one. So, but all the trade posts are not visible to Brit player. But luckily, Hausa starts with all their trade posts visible. So you as soon as the map starts, you need to realize what map that is and how many trade posts there are. So this strat relies on how many trade posts are there on the map. So as you can see, Hausa starts with 5 cattle. 1 cattle is consumed immediately, and then 4 cattle you can put them at a livestock. Currently, in this patch that I'm playing, they said it's a bug, but maybe it's a feature. Who knows? But these are not. Uh, See, I had to sell something over here, sell a cattle, and then do village dogs, as well as at a later time I might have to sell another cattle or find a good wood treasure like I'm doing here. I found a wood treasure here. So if I find a wood treasure, it's lucky, but before that I need to be able to sell. Previously, I used to be able to sell house. I used to be able to sell 1 cattle, get village dogs as well as a house, but they can't do it at the moment. But anyhow, uh, I'm working on this to get 75. I was lucky to get a 125 wood, sorry, 125 XP treasure at the moment. See, hence my first shipment came in really fast. So by the time I got that 75, I had enough wood to build this house now. I did not have to sell a cattle, which was nice because they are accruing influence at the moment. I don't want to sell cattle as late as possible because I want to get their full potential, not this buggy version of the trade. So what's happening here? The build is essentially revolves around this card over here. You see air berbers, and this ships a berber nomad for each trading post and a town center you control. Right now I control only one town center. This trade post is just built right now, so hence you see instead of one it became a two right now. So what do you need to do? If a Brit player, for example, in this matchup, you see a Brit player has already queued up his age. He has more than 800 food, so he already queued his age up with naturalist, and before 3 minute 20 mark, he started chopping wood for his manors. Hausa do not have that luxury, so Hausa has to do something. At the 12th, still 12 villagers only, and I'm just barely enough 800 food as of now. So the age up is in queue. I'll be aging up with Hausa, which gives 300 wood as well as a Hausa builder, which is very good. So that's like a 500 wood value. Brit is 17 wheels, not bad. Hausa 12 wheels. This is when the game starts. See, hardened iron access has been researched at the moment at the market because it costs only 50 wood. Sorry, 50 food, and then immediately 2 villagers shall be kept on food, but 10 villagers. And right now, I'm trying to head this hunt in, but it ran away, as all good things in DG. Every other villager shall be chopping wood. As soon as I get 200 wood, I build a trade post. And then at this moment, when this mark reaches this I and O, you send this second card. First card shall be this Emir of Katsina, and this because it gives a second hero a second hero as well as a trade post, which is good. Now, once you build this one, you need 2 builders. I could have killed this guy, I didn't notice. I was busy executing my strat, so I didn't even bother with him. So you send this card, it arrives the moment after you age up, so that you will get both a university builder as well as a trade builder. Everybody does this, this is nothing new. But what's happening at this moment is new. So age up hit at 5th minute mark, but you are still chopping wood. And then you get a university builder, you build a university in front of your base. And then this Hausa builder is gonna build one trade post here. And this trade builder shall be building somewhere here. Immediately 5-minute 25 mark, I already have one trade post, two trade posts, three trade posts, fourth and fifth. And this is also being constructed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 under construction at the moment. So I gathered up all the wood, age of wood that I got, and I'm also using my wagons to build far away because I physically cannot be all places at once with my 2 builders. One guy building this one guy building this one. You can't use villagers for this. Villagers need to be chopping. You don't have that luxury of having several villagers. So immediately when my opponent realized that I'm building, you see here it all gathers up, and he sent a shipment of 5 musketeers or 6 musketeers, and he started sieging this down. And now how many do I have already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6th minute mark, and then this is also being built. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a town center shall give you 7 Berbers as of now. But with all this build XP, and also of course he sent 4 cavalry to raid. This is a point here, with all that XP, it's better to send a wood shipment which will be in a crunch, because you are housed already, because you are building all these and you don't have any military buildings or anything, and you can't even sell cattle effectively anymore. So it's better if you send 700 wood and then queue up these Berbers, which is not bad on a map like this. Cavalry raids, don't be afraid of any cavalry raids that come your way, because town center fire shall send them away. Without one villager was lost because he was trying to head this hut back in, unfortunately. But as soon as you opponent sees this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you see what happened here? I got 9 air berbers. 9 air berbers. Where are they? See? 9. And these guys are far better at gathering natural resources, 1.25 foot per second compared to, I don't know, these guys are still idle. And this drives your opponents crazy. A siege is happening here, a siege is happening here, and somewhere else I'm trying to use all the influence income that I'm getting with all these trade posts to try to raid a bit and confuse the opponent a bit more. The intent here is to not let them come to your town, because your town defenses are nothing at this moment. You don't have any military buildings, you are housed already, so you don't want attack to be happening at your town. This is the only weakest point, so you distract your opponent by letting them see all this, and for that, even if they are sieging, nothing bad shall happen to you because you got 9 air berbers already. And these guys, as I said, 1.25 compared to 0.97. So they are 25% more efficient, or 30%, I guess, to your villagers. So you essentially are booming. And now with enough influence that I queued so far, I sent a kingdom builder and building my palace over here. And this is what I wanted to tell you. All the units that the opponent trained or sent so far, see what did the opponent do? The opponent sent 6 longbows, 6 musketeers, and he trained up all his units. Everybody is sieging you, not killing you, right? And now you got enough time to build two war camps, and now you have all your units. with all the XP, you also sent a couple of more shipments back to back. Now you are good. So this can hold, and with the Palace Fire as well as TC Fire, you are no longer afraid. Your boom is complete, and they will still be sieging them. I could have engaged here, but I was a bit afraid. I don't want to lose my advantage at this moment. My score is still higher than his, so I'm not afraid until he commits under my town, where I have a decent chance of cleaning up. I'm massing the units a bit more because I know longbows are an issue to counter my javelin riders. So I want more raiders before I can engage. I saw these. I don't know how many longbows did he train so far. I saw them sieging. So better wait instead of taking chances, I thought. And he's happy sieging my trade posts, but their task is done. Don't worry about the trade posts that are being sieged. You got 9 Berbers, you are all happy. Let them come to you. And in the meantime, you just shore up your defenses, maybe prepare for an age up or whatnot. And this is one of my favorite card, Kingslayer. Kingslayer, once this card arrives, at the moment he is at 839 HP, but in the fight, when there are more of your opponent, suddenly your hero gains HP. You see, 849 shall become. Oh, Kingslayer did not yet arrive, so it won't change. But the opponent tried to send a cavalry here and engage from the other side, but he didn't know that I was waiting, and I had this line of sight of this trade post. So nothing bad happened. I was able to clean up the raiding part. And also several things also happened. I always will have these great codes researched, as well as there is some second another upgrade which gives them 8 line of sight for each villager, which is very important. You better research that one so that your villagers can see danger coming from far away. And after this, my opponent, always sensing that my score is still higher than his, and having killed all my trade posts, he's very happy. Usually they forget or do not even attempt to kill the native trade posts, but native trade posts also give you influence. This is not insignificant. 0.5 per second here and 0.5 per second here. That means 1 influence per second is a lot to a Hausa player. So better siege every single trade post that you might find. And I'm waiting for my opponent. I'm seeing, I don't know where his units are at this moment, and I know their manor houses provide a lot of line of sight, so I can't really commit and lose my army, so I'm trying to wait. In the meantime, whatever he sieged, I'm trying to build them back. Maybe he would be enticed to commit under my town one more time. But I sense that he might be aging at this moment, because usually they get this. See, he reached Fortress Age, for which they get falconets. So Brit players or any European players would like to use their falconets. So before they commit, because they are trailing in their score. So the wait happens. I'm still trying. I'm still waiting, still massing. And now I see. This is also the strat that I want. Now I know that he has grenadiers, he has longbows, but a lot of musketeers. So since he has a lot of musketeers, I sent this card which gives my Fulani archers 3 attack, because now they have 20 range. Right? Sorry, 3 range, 3 plus range. They start with 17, now they have 20. So this is important. If you see a mass of musketeers, better to have this one. Yeah, I was sneezing, so I had to pause the video for a second. Okay, so I'm still massing. I'm not yet aging, which is insignificant. Oh yeah, I'm aging. So I'm aging with Moroccans here. Once the age up is in queue, I'm massing more and more units. So I have the luxury of doing all this because of my air berbers. 9 of them. But unfortunately, I will lose several of them here in this raid. The army shall come this way. That's unfortunate. But you see the cleanup shall happen. A second. Okay, now I realized only one guy is sieging, but I didn't see all this army coming my way. And I tried to send a party, tried to take this one longbow. Instead of taking this longbow, they saw all this big mass coming my way, which is good. I didn't lose my cow, but I know what's coming, so I can be ready. So I sent. He saw only 5 of my cow. This is unfortunate. You see, you have to pay attention to these kind of raids, and it was too late. My berbers, please don't die. And I aged. And you should not engage the moment you age because the upgrades have not come in. You see, elite upgrades. So I'm trying to save my units. Unfortunately, some of them were lost. And the opponent is slowly marching to my town. I did not show him anything, so this is crucial. So here, this is what my opponent is seeing. He do not know where my buildings are. He do not know how many cavalry that I have. He do not know if he needs to come back and say many players are doing this now. So if they have 3 falconets, I try to engage them with my cavalry. I don't have culverins or anything at this moment. So I have only cavalry to counter this. So once they see a bunch of cavalry, all they do is they just sit. When the cavalry get locked, all the cavalry die trying to path around them. They die to all this musketeer fire. So it's you should not reveal what you have to your opponent. That's the main point here. Since my opponent saw some villagers still walking and still chopping, he is really happy to take all of them down. But I was biding time. I wanted to complete these upgrades because these upgrades 120 shall become 150. So all the units are now elite units, right? So here I separated all my hand cavalry, which my opponent did not even know yet. Cavalry is coming this way, and while these units are engaging from the fast, he is really happy to siege my town, but his falconers are gone. He had no time to come and body block his falconers. Once these falconers are down, my Hausa heroes now have 2500 HP, and if he attack moves, everybody attacks the hero, and all these units shall be firing. That's how you win fights with Hausa, in my opinion. And you just pull some of them away, you don't want them to die to musketeer fire. But the rest of the units which have 20 range now shall do the cleanup. And also, of course, I also got a shipment. My shipment of Emir of Kano arrived, which is one Emir, whose HP, as I said, increases with the opponent number of units. And they are tanking, and the rest of the units are firing from behind. All this mass, what did he accomplish? Yeah, some of my villagers were dead and my town is dead. But he lost his entire army for that. So, the fight continues. I tried to raid a bit, but I couldn't. I'm not that good yet. While the fight is happening, trying to raid and whatnot. And now I need to build back my town. And also this is one more Hausa feature which is good to explain. Say this guy, Greyat, what is he doing? Listen closely. Do you hear that? So he's performing some music ceremony, and now the villagers are coming 10% faster. Right? These grades also help in building the buildings faster. So this grade just helped this building build faster, and he's continuing to do that music so that the villagers are coming out faster. And of course, as Hausa, you can get falconets. I'm trying to mass up a bit before I engage, and I'm booming with three towns in age 3. That's Hausa for you, And then, of course, this guy is here, and this guy is here. Where is the other guy? I thought I tasked a grade to... I mean, this is what you can see here, with grade and without grade. With grades, villagers are coming faster, and without grade, you can see it's a bit much slower, 10 seconds slower or 10% slower. And of course, as Hausa, people will say, hey, you are building towers all over. But the thing is, you have to build a university right next to your town center, a trade post and a palace, because only then your university shall produce influence at a much faster pace. You see, this guy is producing 0.75 by himself, as well as 0.75 because of a palace is nearby and also a town center is nearby. So it's essential that you need to build these three in combo, and all three, if they are near a trade post, it's even better. Just like this combo over here, so you get 0.5 influence for this trade post, as well as another 0.35 because the palace is, sorry, university is next to a trade post. So this is important. Anytime you build a combo of these four, it's harder to siege all of them down, and you get more trickle. You see, the influence is trickling really fast, and using influence, you can get these cannons and whatnot. All the things that come out of a palace costs influence. So that's essentially the boom. I tasked all the grades, and now once I'm about to engage, I pull my grades back into the army. See, he's no longer performing the music. This grade is performing. So it's time to engage in a minute. Now, I was trying for him to come back. I don't know. I'm always afraid to lose my army. That is a bad... see, I tried to raid this one. Immediately lost several of my units. So I'm always afraid. I try to wait out my opponent. I don't really wall up, etc. And create a big spaghetti thing. But this kind of revealed me, oh, he got these grenadiers. Grenadiers are bad news for me because if they have a mass, they can one-shot all my precious buildings. So I want to scare them off away. Which is good. I saw hussars walking into my anti-cav, so I scare them off. And he do not know what army do I have, right? I have 7 falconets. Somebody said I will 7 falconet sometime back. So this is good. All this is possible because of all these university boom and whatever we did so far, trade post boom, and now you are golden. Your score is always higher compared to your opponent, even though now you lost several of your trade posts to them, which you will get back right away. No worries, 7 falconets. Come on, you came to my town with 3 falconets. Let me show you what I can do on the way back. Okay, now I reveal all my falconets. My opponent sees all of them. What does he do? Oh, he's not innocent. He knows what's coming. So I think he's gonna immediately queue up culverins. And this is a drag box, which is bad. But who cares? Once this trade post is down, I give you time. I'm massing up in the meantime. Show me what you got. Get ready, I'm coming. Usually I go for the market when I am trying to hit, and then I realize that, oh my god, there is a tower, there is a fort here. But that's okay. Try to take my falconets with one shot. And now, there is a mass of culverins here, and he does a good job in sniping some of them down. But you are forgetting my Kingslayer card. And I am focusing because I don't see much of his units. They are hiding behind. See this? My grades are working. They are working on this culverin right now. And this culverin now fires every 12 seconds. How good is that? So the grades, when tasked in the battle, they confuse your opponent. So these guys fire. So if a musketeer, let's say where is a musketeer? If he usually fires this grenadier, if he usually fires every 3 seconds, now he's gonna fire every 6 seconds. That's what grade does to your opponent's units. So compared to this and this is 6 compared to 12. So you slow them down. And people think they are stunning the entire army. It's not really a stun per se. Where they are idle, they do fire, but they fire slowly. So that gives you enough time. If you have a mass of units to do the cleanup before you take hits. See, I lost all my falconets. It's not like the Grades just turned his entire army into submission. No, it's not like that. He killed several of my units, but I also had a chance to clean his army up. Now the Grades here. Wow. This is a what do they do? Noise damage. 1 per second. Sorry, 2 noise damage per second. And now this guy will attack 6 seconds later, if at all he does, and he died. He did not die to the Grades, he died to the opponent units. Now I have 5 more Falconets. That's what you need to spend your influence on. 1 more Falconet is on the queue. Don't waste them on Maigadi if you ask me. Maigadi are 200 influence, but they do die faster. You need your artillery much more than your units because your Hausa units can do a good job. Falconets are much more precious or important. Scare your opponent off. So, what else? GG. There is 1 more falconet here and also a shipment which I sent, which I forgot at home, but it was not required. I was slowly transitioning into farms here when this was all happening because I ran out of hunts. Most of the hunts, there are a bit more which are being hunted over here. Essentially, that's what happened in this game. But the important point is, let me tell you, villager count. As I was telling you, Hausa starts on a back foot compared to other Eurasians. See, 19 villagers compared to 12 by the time you aged up. It is a lot. But now with that Berbers, if you control more trading posts, you have a decent chance to catch up. So 14 became 23. 9 villager shipment, 9 villagers who are 1.25, I think, close to your normal villagers. That means it's definitely 10 or 11 villager equivalent on a map like this. That shows once that shipment arrived, it kind of created all the difference that we saw in this game. And even before that, all those trading posts, where are the trading posts? See, if a Brit player shall build all the buildings really fast using Virginia company, they build all their manors really fast by this time. So as a Hausa player, don't try to raid them. Yeah, you can on a map like this, which offers much more trade posts. Usually you can get at least 4 air berbers or 5 air berbers because you can control 4 trade posts plus a town center, which is 5. That is average. Sometimes you can get only 3 berbers. Sometimes you can get 9 berbers, like in this game, which is like a high end of the spectrum. But usually that's a build which confuses your opponent. They don't know what to do at this moment. See, he had a mass. This is a shipment. This is a shipment. This is a batch, and this is one more batch, one more shipment, and one more batch. And he has 34 units compared to your 0 units at this time, 29 to 0. So had he come to your turn, you would be toast. But he did not. These trade posts were a threat, and he needed to neutralize them before he commits. And now, by the time he committed, he had a big mass. Population wise, he had a lot. But only thing was he lost his falconets for nothing. I kind of was able to neutralize that. Not every game that happens. But once you win a fight, it's very hard to come back from that because now my mass is alive and my villagers were alive. And then it just steamrolls from there. And in this engagement, yes, I lost, but since I did not lose my economy, I was able to remass right away. But he could not because the fight is in his. So that's all, folks. What do you think about this build? As I said, some maps you can get 6 Berbers, some maps only 3. But in this map, definitely uh, the more trade posts you see, the better you go for as much greed as possible, I suggest. It might not work against some civilizations like Inca, who does native rush on you. They come at 4th minute. But others tried to rush me. Lakota tried, Aztec tried. But as soon as they see some trade posts, they tried to siege the trade post before hitting you at town. So it works both ways. And also, you always have these two shipments to help you out, and then you build some defenses and TC fire and maybe a palace fire. It's not that hard to defend against a rush. If an opponent is pressuring you at the start, all you need is some safe hunts and not lose any villagers. So this build mostly works. And then also you have several influence, right? Using influence, you can quickly call upon Minutemen, levy units, or you can even what else can you do? Of course, if the trade posts are alive, you can also train these guys. Even though these guys are expensive, they will make a difference if you are under pressure at the start. But once that initial time has passed, um, once you win a fight, there is no looking back. You just pressure move. That's the build. Let me know what you think about this. Thank you. See you next time.